Live from our studios in Lincoln, your news leader. 1011 News at 10 starts now.
First came the siren, then reports of a funnel cloud.
Hurry, guys, hurry!
And a reported tornado touching down in South Lincoln.
You're gonna run out of time.
But it didn't stop there. There was up to softball-sized hail, heavy rain, and now the big worry, flooding and people needing to be rescued.
And it's our top story on 1011 News at 10. Good evening. I'm Bridget Farjan. My co-anchor Owen Jensen will join us in just a few minutes. Well, thankfully tonight the severe weather has quieted down. The problem now, though, is street flooding. We've had numerous reports of cars getting stalled in water and people even needing to be rescued. 1011's Taylor Barth is live with what she's seen. Taylor?
Bridget, I'm here near 56th and Old Cheney in the parking lot of Adventure Golf, where you can see that the parking lot is completely flooded. Now, if you take a look at my feet, I'm just where the flooding starts and it's already up to my ankles. But if you look further in the distance, you can see that a truck is completely covered with water up to its tires. Now, flooding was an issue all through the day in Lincoln. Once it started raining, we were on the scene of two water rescues, one at 48th and Old Cheney, where two cars were stuck near the intersection. One man told us he was driving along when his car completely stalled. Another water rescue happened at Pioneers and Lucille, where two cars were also stalled. Officers had to block off both roads during the rescue. Police have also put barricades up at Holmes Lake, where water is rushing over the banks into parking lots. An officer told me it is not safe to drive in that park. Now, if you are out and driving tonight, use extreme caution. Drivers should not approach water as it can be hard to tell how deep it is. Now, Lincoln police tell us they are putting barricades up in several intersections, several streets throughout the city. If you do see those barricades, you are asked to stop and turn around and do not drive past them. Now, the Lancaster County is in a flash flood warning until about 11:30 tonight. The city is continuing to monitor Salt Creek's water levels. Right now, the levels are at about 14 feet, just a few levels off of minor flooding levels at about 20. I'm told the city isn't taking action just yet, and the creek was at about 8 feet yesterday. Now, it's been about a year since last spring's flooding when the Salt Creek levees did overflow. Now, another thing to keep in mind, voters are going to be weighing in on the stormwater bond issue tomorrow in tomorrow's primary that's expected to help with flooding like this. Reporting live in Lincoln, Taylor Barth, 1011 News.
It's important to remember the phrase, turn around, don't drown. Thank you very much, Taylor. Well, many of you sent us videos and pictures of what you were seeing in your neighborhood. All that rain that fell had to go somewhere. And here's some rushing water from a culvert near 81st and Stockwell, which isn't far from 84th and Van Dorn. Thanks to Stuffcat for sending us this.
Yeah, get in the basement. Hurry up. Get in the basement, I said.
In this viewer video, you can hear Mitch Thomas yelling at his children to go into the basement while he gets video of a funnel cloud near his home in Lincoln. And hail pounded the city around 5 o'clock. Andrew DeCamp sent us this video of hail hitting his house at 70th and Van Dorn. And this is just some of the runoff that was in his neighborhood. Again, lots of rushing water and it pooling in the grass, and it was all sweeping through the area. Well, we've seen reports of up to softball-sized hail that caused damage. The Nebraska State Patrol also tweeted the reported tornado damaged a playground and fences at 84th and Highway 2. And 1011's Max Massey is live with what people are dealing with tonight. Max?
We're here at the corner of the neighborhood here at the 91st and Highway 2. And as you can see behind me, the windows on this house are already boarded up because of the damage done by today's hail. And neighborhoods all over Lincoln have had damage from today's storms. And they said they've seen things from hail, heavy rain, heavy winds. Some people say they even saw a tornado. Michael Jackson was just sitting at home when today's storms began.
So I thought, this is going to be quick. This is going to be passing through. And my son's always worried about the weather, so I tell him this is no big deal. And next thing you know, it kept getting bigger and more hail and more rain, and checked it again. I went back outside.
And Jackson went back outside. He says he saw some spiraling clouds.
And we thought we saw birds. And my wife said, those aren't birds, that's debris.
He says he doesn't think there is any damage from the weather on his property, but he thinks there definitely could be some elsewhere in Lincoln.
because I keep thinking the windows are breaking. But we've started off small, it kept getting larger and larger, and the largest ones we've seen, I would say, are almost golf ball size out in the yard still.
Jackson says he's lived here for 20 years, and today was a first.
So when we saw this today, it was really interesting because no, I've never seen anything like this before.
Yes, and at this house, even their cars got pretty much destroyed. As you can see, the car behind me, the left window is covered with a trash bag because it was completely demolished by the hail. The homeowner says there was glass in the car and outside of the car. Also, if you can see, the left rear view mirror is pretty destroyed again from today's storms. Now, I did speak to the person who lives here. They say their windows were destroyed, their car windows were destroyed, but also the hail was so bad, it went through their windows, glass everywhere, and actually hit their daughter's bed. The woman who lives here says if the hail would have hit her daughter while she was sleeping, it could have been very dangerous. Reporting live in Lincoln, Max Massey, 1011 News.
Certainly a very lucky family tonight. Thank you very much, Max. Well, here's a live look at the conditions outside right now on Skyview. Much quieter, and we're all thankful for that. It has certainly been an eventful evening. So are we in store for any more? Here's Ken now with the first look at your forecast. Hi, Ken.
Bridget, exactly as you mentioned, things are much quieter now than they were earlier in the day. We still have officially a severe thunderstorm watch out for portions of east central southeastern Nebraska. This is in effect until midnight. These blue shaded polygons, those are flash flood warnings that continue until 11:30 for Lancaster, Cass, and Odo, and till 11:15 for Saline County, and then between 11 and midnight for portions of northeastern Nebraska. Again, those are all flash flood warnings. Let's check out Storm Tracker radar. This is in loop mode now over the past couple of hours. We have no severe weather warnings of any kind at this point besides those flash flood warnings. So no tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings, and we hope that will continue to be the case, and we think it will. Again, this is level 2 radar. You can see really we're basically looking at dry conditions now in Lancaster County. There's a better look at those flash flood warnings, but still some pretty heavy rain around Falls City and also Pawnee City. We've been watching some storms trying to get going south of the Tri-Cities, but really not much happening right now. A thunderstorm around Air. We'll keep an eye on those in case they intensify. This activity near North Platte has been weakening as well over the past half hour. That's good news as it moves to the east and southeast. And then we've got these flash flood warnings in portions of northeastern Nebraska. These storms were much heavier around Norfolk earlier in the day. Quick check of where we're at temperature-wise now, 50s and 60s across most of the region, including 59 with cloudy skies at the Lincoln Airport. Here's the last couple of hours on satellite radar. Heaviest storms now continuing to push to the east into Iowa and Missouri, but we're going to keep a very close eye on radar. It's been a rather complicated day. Between now and 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, most of the precipitation comes to an end. Could start the day with some areas of fog and maybe a sprinkle here or there. And early morning temperatures tomorrow mainly in the mid-40s to mid-50s from west to east. Complete forecast details are coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Ken. Well, people took some incredible pictures that show the scope of what Lincoln dealt with today. This truck is submerged up to the top of its tires. Fortunately, no one was inside the truck when the floodwaters rose. Josh Egger sent us this picture. Now, funnel cloud is shown dipping from the sky here at 40th and Pine Lake in Lincoln. Hannah Boehm sent us this photo. And here's a look at baseball-sized hail. This was taken at 70th and Saltillo in Lincoln. Brad Johnston sent us this photo. Well, one 85-year-old man is pretty upset tonight after what happened to him in the storm, but luckily he wasn't hurt. My co-anchor Owen Jensen is live. Owen?
Well, Bridget, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Despite what Donald Slama of Southeast Lincoln went through today, he was kind enough to invite us over to his house to take a look at the damage, and we've got some video to show you from a little earlier this evening. Now, this is what happened. His barn was demolished. He believes it was a tornado. He describes some howling winds. No one was hurt, fortunately, but the damage was total, as you can see. He had some lawnmowers in there, some other property. The roof was blown off. He believes it was hundreds of yards away, potentially. Not sure where it landed. They'll have to figure that out later on. Donald was obviously upset about what happened with his home just being feet away.
Discouraging as hell, I'll tell you. But at least my house is standing.
Now, firefighters arrived on scene to check on Donald to make sure he's okay, and it turns out he is okay, obviously just a little shaken up as anyone would be. And one more note here, Bridget, aside from this incident, I stopped by the Walmart at 84th and Highway 2 earlier this evening. They're shut down because of hail damage to the store, not sure when they'll reopen. Reporting live in Lincoln, outside the studios here at Vine and 40th, where it's not raining. How about that? Owen Jensen, Back to you.
We're certainly thankful for that. Thank you, Owen. Well, with the primary election tomorrow, if you were planning on voting at Southlake Retirement Center tomorrow, your polling location has changed. Tonight's storm damaged that polling place. Instead, you'll now vote at New Covenant Church. That's just south of 84th and Old Cheney. You can look up your polling place on 1011now.com or just click on our election page. Well, people in Lincoln and Lancaster County weren't the only ones dealing with severe weather. In Clay County, a reported tornado briefly touched down near Fairfield. You can see the funnel forming in this video. The superintendent of Sandy Creek School says the reported tornado damaged Sandy Creek School and 10 people had to take cover in the building. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll have a live report on how badly the school was damaged. And in Cass County, a homeowner near Nehawka says a tornado destroyed his home. The man told our sister station he clung to a tree to survive, but is thankfully okay and only has minor injuries. You can see the roof on the home is gone, and a couple of walls fell down too. And with everything that happened in Lincoln and Lancaster County in southeast Nebraska tonight, here's something to smile about. This was the rainbow our Skyview camera captured around 8:30 tonight. That'll put a smile on some people's faces. Well, homeowners weren't the only people affected by today's storms. High school baseball games were canceled. Coming up in sports, when they'll make up those district games. Plus, we'll take you live to Sandy Creek School, where the principal is being called a hero. That's later on.
The threat for any additional severe weather has diminished greatly. It's not zero, but we'll have complete forecast details, talk about the remainder of tonight and what's headed our way the rest of the week. But right now, the Lincoln and Grand Island Weather Almanacs.
The severe weather tonight damaged Sandy Creek School, and we've learned school will not be in session tomorrow because of it. Spencer Schubert of our sister station KSNB is live in Clay County with the latest. Spencer?
Thank you so much, Bridget. We are here live at Sandy Creek High School in South Central Unified Public School District. Superintendent Raina Gilson, he said that there were still about 10 people in and around the school when the storm did hit around 5 o'clock this afternoon, but it was the school's principal that became the hero of the day, making sure everybody stayed safe. Now, a storm spotter confirmed tornado did touch down near Fairfield about 5 o'clock, and then they tore off the awning of Sandy Creek High School's walkway. The high winds also caused significant damage to 10 school vehicles, including cars, vans, and multiple school buses, busting out windshields and windows of those vehicles. And it was tornadoes spotters and their local ability. They were able to see the tornado firsthand.
It began to drop down out of the sky approximately a mile east of Fairfield, and they watched it as it slowed the rotation and the tornado slowly lowered down, and they spotted some of the debris from the school.
Fairfield Fire Chief Dennis Fike also said that the school appears to be the only structure in the county that did suffer any damage at this time. And as for the heroic story, the school's principal, Jason Searle, was actually the one that noticed those 10 people in and around the school building. He gathered everybody, rushed them inside into a school utility closet next to the high school gym to make sure everybody's safe. And we're happy to report there are no injuries to report. Bridget, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, very lucky. Way to go to that principal for his quick thinking. Thank you, Spencer. And stick around. Ken will update your forecast next.
Isolated severe thunderstorms still going to be possible, especially in areas of northeastern Nebraska. This is the watch area, those pink shaded counties that's left. Those blue shaded counties are going to be your flash flood warnings ending between 11 and midnight in most locations. We're going to take a quick look at radar. Again, this is level 2 radar, nothing except these flash flood warnings and some moderate rain in southeastern Nebraska. No significant threats here. Weakening storms around Blue Hill, south of the Tri-Cities. We'll keep an eye on those storms. Weakening storms near North Platte, about midway between North Platte and Broken Bow. Again, keeping an eye on some storms in this particular part of the state and also in northeastern Nebraska, where now we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for west, central Holt County, and that's what we're looking at. You can see that polygon near Atkinson. That is the west central Holt County. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 11. The possibility of ping pong ball size hail with this storm moving to the east at about 15 miles per hour. There's a look at the other storms weakening now to the west and south of Norfolk, also points to the east. So we'll keep an eye on radar for the next several hours in case anything happens. And again, tomorrow, not like this, but at least a small chance for some strong storms.
All right, thanks, Ken. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.